aliens may be real, but we may never see them. Because all kinds of theories prove it, we are most likely to miss out on them perfectly. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Human civilization is only a few thousand years old. We have the ability to transmit radio signals. It's only been more than 100 years. On the time scale of the universe, this is too trivial. Let's say somewhere in our galaxy, there is an alien civilization. It reached its peak 500 million years ago. They probably built the Dyson ball, transformed the entire species, even mastered interstellar travel. But here comes the problem. At that time, the Earth was still in the Cambrian. The most complex creatures are trilobites. When we humans finally evolved, I learned to look up at the starry sky. People may have finished playing long ago. Maybe it was blown up by a supernova. Maybe he killed himself. Or it may be upgraded to a higher level of time and space. In short, we will never see each other, any trace they left behind. Because 500 million years, it is enough to wipe almost all the evidence clean. This is known as the time window problem. Two civilizations are to meet in the universe. Not only does it need to be spatially close enough, there is also a need to overlap in time. And this overlapping probability, to be honest, it's pitiful. Even more desperate is the opposite situation. Maybe in the hundreds of millions of years after our extinction, the galaxy will give birth to a brilliant interstellar civilization. When they wiped out the solar system, you will find a lifeless blue planet, topmost. Except for some weird carbon-based sediment fragments. Nothing. They wouldn't have thought of it. There used to be a group of people who could think. Dreaming creatures. Even if the problem with the time window is solved, we also have to face another desperate reality. Many people have little idea of the distance of the universe. I will give you an analogy. If you shrink the sun to the size of a football field, so where is the nearest centaur? The answer is about 6,000 kilometers away. Now imagine it. You have to start from a football stadium in Beijing, walk to another football stadium in Urumqi, find one that may exist, civilizations that may not exist, and you can only crawl over it at the speed of a snail. This is the reality of interstellar travel. Some will say, isn't the speed of light very fast? The speed of light is indeed fast, but it can't stand the emptiness of the universe. It takes 4.3 years for light to travel from Centauri to Earth. And that's just one of our closest neighbors. The Milky Way is 100,000 light-years in diameter. What does this mean? It means there is a civilization sending us signals in the other direction of the Milky Way. When we receive it, the human species may not exist anymore. And don't forget, the signal decays with distance. Wait for it to reach us. It may have been weak. There is no difference between it and cosmic background radiation. What's more, the range we can detect now. In fact, it's pitiful. Voyager 1, the farthest human launch. It has been flying for more than 40 years. Just reached the edge of the solar system. At this rate, to fly to the nearest star system, it takes 70,000 years. What is the concept of 70,000 years? It has only been so long since the people left Africa. Now you have to come in with me. The big filter hypothesis that really keeps people awake. This theory says so. From inorganic substances to a civilization capable of interstellar travel, there must be countless stages of development in between. And in these stages, there may be one or several fatal, difficult levels. Very few civilizations can get through. This is called a big filter. The scary part is, we don't know where the filter is. For example, from inorganic matter to organic matter, from unicellular to multicellular. from multicellular to intelligent life. Each of these steps is outrageous. It took more than 3 billion years for life on Earth. It evolved from unicellular to multicellular. How long did this get stuck in between? Maybe multicellular life is extremely rare in the universe, and we are just the lucky ones who won the lottery. In this case, at least we are safe. We have already passed this hardest level. But perhaps even more terrifying, the large filter is right in front of us. Perhaps every civilization has developed to a certain extent. There will be some insurmountable obstacles. Probably nuclear war. It could be climate change. It could be that the AI is out of control. It could also be some kind of catastrophe that we can't imagine at all now. Think about how humanity has mastered nuclear weapons for decades. We've almost blown ourselves up several times. At the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis, human extinction may be a decision made by only one person. If every civilization in the universe will be when technology develops to a certain critical point, self-destruction, then it can be explained. Why can't we see aliens anymore? Because no civilization can live long enough to be able to travel interstellar. This is the Fermi Paradox. The darkest answer is not that aliens do not exist. Instead, they all died, and we may join them soon. Speaking of which, it has to be mentioned. Louis Sixon's theory of the dark forest proposed in the three-body problem. Although this is a science fiction work, but he pointed out the profound problem. That is, exposing yourself can be fatal. Suppose there are indeed many civilizations in the universe, and resources are limited. In this case, the goal of war in every civilization is survival. But you don't know if other civilizations are good or bad. This forms a chain of suspicion. I don't know if you're good or bad, but I know you want the same question. At the same time, the communication cost is particularly high. Uncertainty cannot be eliminated. Then the safest thing to do is to strike first. Under this framework, the universe is like a dark forest. Every civilization is a hunter with a gun. Walk carefully in the forest. Try not to make a sound. Because once exposed, what can be brought is destruction. From this point of view, alien civilizations may have discovered us long ago, but they chose to remain silent. Or worse, they have flagged us as a potential threat. It's just that we don't have the ability to do it yet. It's actually a bit ironic to think about. We are trying so hard to send signals to the universe, trying to tell the universe that we are here. Probably the stupidest act of man. There is another possibility that is often overlooked. Maybe an alien civilization is all around us. We don't recognize it at all. Think about it. What is the way we look for extraterrestrial life? Find oxygen and Earth-like planets. Find a radio signal. But these are all based on one hypothesis. Extraterrestrial life is similar to life on Earth. But is this assumption reasonable? This is not necessarily. Life on Earth is carbon-based. Water is required for a specific temperature range. But who said life has to be like this? Maybe in the atmosphere of a gas giant. There is a kind of silicon-based life floating around. Perhaps there is a kind of life in the form of an electromagnetic field. No physical is required at all. Maybe some civilization. It has developed to a point where we cannot fully understand it. They may have uploaded consciousness. It exists in some kind of quantum computer. Or modify their physical laws, living in dimensions that we cannot detect. It's like ants will never understand the internet. Even though there are alien servers set up next to the ant nest, ants won't know what it is either. From this point of view, maybe there is intelligent life everywhere in the universe. Just their form of existence, beyond the pinnacle of our cognition. We are like blind men touching elephants, and you can only touch the elephant's legs. Still sighing there. Why are there pillars everywhere? Nothing else. Finally, let's talk about a relatively optimistic possibility. Maybe the Earth is a super lucky accident. Many people think the universe is so big. There is life everywhere. But think about it. The Earth is capable of giving birth to complex life. How many prerequisites are required? First, you have to be in the livable belt. Not too close and not too far. And then, you have to have a big planet like Jupiter. Black meteorites on the periphery. You also have to have a large enough satellite to stabilize the rotating shaft. Otherwise, the climate will be synchronized. Your star must also be stable enough. You can't have a super flare at every turn. In addition, the Earth has experienced several mass extinctions. Every time I almost finished it. But it's not completely over. Instead, it promotes the evolution of life. This kind of disaster is just right. Every time is like a miracle. The Earth also has plate movements. This is not common on rocky planets. Plate motion can regulate atmospheric composition, restore carbon to maintain temperature stability. Without him, the Earth may have become Venus or Mars long ago. Let's look at all these conditions. You'll find that it's just right to put all of this together. The probability is hopelessly low. Maybe in the discoverable universe, there are really only a handful of planets like Earth. If so, then it is normal that we cannot find aliens, because they don't exist at all, or so little that it is negligible. Having said so much, you may find there may be a whole bunch of reasons why we can't find it. The time is not right. The distance is too far. Can't get past the big filter. Hide from each other in the dark forest. The cognitive gap is obvious, or not at all. Which one is the most terrifying here? I think it's the big filter on the front, because it means human civilization may not live long. Which is the loneliest? I think it's the rare Earth hypothesis. Imagine this. In the entire discoverable universe, only on our blue planet, there is life looking up at the starry sky. Think about these questions. That loneliness runs deep into the bones. If we really are the only life in the universe, then the responsibility on our shoulders is even heavier. We don't just live for humanity itself. It is also preserving this fire of consciousness for the entire universe. We are the only way the universe knows itself. So the people category has broken the Earth.